some tidbits about those areas. But Orlando, Florida is a very unique city. 75 million people visited Orlando in 2018, which is more than any other destination in the world. The number of visitors in Orlando each day is the equivalent to the population of Atlanta. So let that sink in. Atlanta's kind of a big city. Orlando is the #1 city for meetings and events. Gatorland was the first theme park in Orlando, opened in 1949, and we are known as the City Beautiful. You can also call us by our other nickname, O-Town. So let's take a journey through Evolve. So at Evolve, we believe in the power of 3. So what's special about the power of 3? Well, there are 3 primary colors, red, green, and blue. 3 is the number of time, past, present, and future, birth, life, and death, beginning, middle, and end. The number 3 is the number of good fortune. 3 is also the number that forms a geometrical figure, the triangle, which is in our logo for a reason. Evolve has 3 locations, Orlando, Dallas, and Las Vegas. Our logo is a triangle. The triangle is the strongest 2-dimensional shape. We offer 3 key services: rent, buy, and learn. Now I'd like to take a little bit of a deep dive into our services. These are the 3 main pillars at Evolve: rent, buy, learn. Those are backed up by solutions, which Kevin Ring here is on our solutions team. He's our lead solutionist. And what these guys' job is to know the products that they manage inside and out. So they give us advice, they give our customers advice. And they're our team that's here to work for you and to help you out if you have any technical questions. We have a service department, a finance department, and a distribution division. Those 4 pillars of our business help support rent, buy, and learn. So let's talk about rent real quick. So Evolve Rent, we stock the latest video technology in large quantities and always in like-new condition. This includes an all-laser projector fleet, 4K cameras, 4K switchers and image processing, along with LED, media servers, and new and emerging technologies. Now, a little bit later in the show, we'll take a look at a lot of new and emerging technologies. And just know that we will be the company that will bring all of the technology that you're going to see later in the show to you first. And that's what we love to do. Then we take a look at distribution. So distribution was launched a 1.5 years ago. It's equal in revenue to our rental division. And it was launched for one reason and one reason only: speed. So it might just be something with our customers, but people call us up and they say, hey, I need 6 projectors next week, Eric. Or I need 300 LED tiles in a week. And we really built Evolve Distribution for speed. So we have between $4 and $5 million worth of equipment on the shelf at all times, ready to ship at a moment's notice. That includes road cases that match our road cases on the rental side. So you call, you need projectors, you need them ready to roll, we can ship them to you, they can go directly on your truck and start making you money. Sorry to call you out, buddy. Just had fun. All right, so Academy. So at Evolve Academy, each year we train hundreds of technicians looking to get certified on specific products. We also train our customers who have purchased equipment through Evolve. So we believe that knowledge is power, and your show site should not be the training ground. The training ground should be in a training room. So we believe that knowledge is power, and a technician that understands the products inside and out is much more successful on show site. And if you want to go to our website, we are evolvemediagroup.com. We are constantly adding new classes, so you can go on that and kind of take a look at the classes that we rolled out from the summer on. Now, service, relatively new department. Ultimately with service, we want to have the ability to service the products that we sell. Currently, we are providing non-warranty projector repair for our customers. We do a lot of that. And over the next 6 months, we're going to be greatly expanding service. So in the coming months, we will have the ability to do warranty and non-warranty repairs on LED, image processing, and more. And I'll get to that a little bit later in the presentation. But we're really doing this for one reason, is we want to offer you consistent service. If we're selling you a product, we want to be able to service it, and we want to be able to turn it around quickly, and we want to be able to react to you, because service will only be offered to Evolve customers. So we're going to keep this very boutique. Evolve Finance, we launched this 2 years ago, I believe, and we have financed tens of millions of dollars worth of our customers' gear, and we try to make the finance process really simple. It's a simple application. It's a quick approval process. We have never had an Evolve customer that's been turned down for financing, and as soon as we get approval, the gear ships out of distribution. So again, everything that we're doing is for speed, speed, speed. Kind of on a slightly unrelated topic, but this is something that's near and dear to my heart. The live events industry that we're all in, I think did anybody plan to get in this industry when they were a kid? Who got into this by accident? I'm raising my hand because I completely fell into this thing. So this is a multi-billion-dollar industry that pays really well, has great flexibility. You can go freelance, you can go full-time. There's tons of work out there, and there's a shortage of technicians. So what we want to do is highlight the technicians, tell their stories, and hopefully promote the industry so people can make it a career path when they're young and they're just starting out. So we do this through an industry podcast where we have freelance techs that come sit down with me, and we talk about what life's like on the road. We'll pick a topic and discuss it in detail. We do guest blogs where freelancers can write, again, articles about their time on the road, what they're passionate about. We kind of give them an open mic. And then we have our craft series, which through the craft series, we're focusing on the top freelancers out there, and we're talking to them about their craft. So this is more of a filmatic or cinematic kind of look at technicians and their craft. So if you're a projectionist, that's your craft. If you're an LED technician, that's your craft. And we really want to celebrate it because, there's documentaries about people that, are sommeliers that drink wine and people, baristas that make coffee. I think we could kind of focus on our industry a little bit. So that's what we're really trying to do with Life of Live. So when you put our services together, we like to think about it kind of like a passport for success. And we all know that you need a passport to get around the world and get from point A to point B. And that's kind of what we're doing today, is we're going on a little bit of a journey. And this is my passport. It's about 2 years old. You can see it's got a lot of stickers on it. It's pretty well worn. Anybody that works for Evolve on the technical side probably has the same type of passport. So we are always traveling around the world and visiting with our vendor partners because it's great to go across the street at InfoComm and see products. But when you can fly across the world, meet the management team, meet the people that are making these products, feel the culture, see how happy the employees are. I mean, these are really little things, but if you go to a company and you get a really warm feeling about it, that's normally a good company that you want to invest in. And what we do is we fly all around the world, we find the best products, and we bring them home to you, and we say, okay, this is a manufacturer that we trust. This is a manufacturer that we're putting our stamp of approval on, and we think they make good products, and they have great culture. Now, speaking of passports, you'll see in front of you, we decided to do things a little bit differently this year, so you all have a passport. And normally at the end of the show, we've given away some prizes. And this year we decided not to because something happened, which is of the 8 manufacturers that we represent, all of them are just coming out with tons of really exciting gear. And the only way that I can talk about all of it is to go through it really, really quickly. So we're not going to be able to do that much of a deep dive because we try to do this in an hour and 15 minutes. So the idea is we're going to make everybody a winner. So what you do is you go to InfoComm, which I'm assuming you all are. You visit our 8 booths, or our 8 vendor partners. You'll see them on the trail map. They all have these nifty stickers that they'll give you once you've gone to the booth. You see you've already got one for being at Tech Forward, so you're already off to a good start. You collect all 8. You put a little bit of information on the back, and you bring this to the AV Stumpful booth. They will give these to us at the end of the show. Anybody that completes this gets a $100 Amazon gift card. So thought that was a pretty good prize and hopefully a good incentive to check out some great products. Now I can hear some wrestling once I said the $100. All right, so moving on, I want to get into what I feel is the most exciting part of the show. That's the tech side. And these are our current 6 partners. And when I say partners, for most of these companies, we are full-on distributors. We work as an arm of the sales team. We help these guys develop new products. We give them feedback. We take customer feedback to them and say, hey, here's how you can make your products better. And overall, we have a really, really tight relationship with these companies. So it's almost like we're ingrained with each other. And I'm really, really proud of the list so far that we've assembled. These are all great brands. So today, I'm really pleased to be adding 2 more to that list, a total of 8. The first one is Novastar. And Novastar is located in Xi'an, China. So this is a really interesting city. So Xi'an is one of 4 great ancient capitals of China with over 3,100 years of history. They are one of the few cities in the world that can boast a history spanning 3 millennia. They are home to China's research and development facilities, national security, and Chinese space exploration program. They are also the birthplace of Chinese civilization and was a capital for 13 empires under 70 emperors. So this city has a little bit of history. And they're also the home for Novastar. So who is Novastar? Novastar is the largest manufacturer of LED control systems in the world. They manufacture receiver cards, like the A-series receiver card, which is powering all the LED that you're seeing here. So the receiving card lives inside the LED. And then they make the processor, which we've got a processor rack over here. Those Novastar processors are talking to the LED, and that's what helps make the beautiful image that you see behind me now. Together, Novastar's receiver cards and processors reliably power millions of LED tiles around the world. So what's our partnership look like with them? Starting this month, we are a distributor for the full lineup of Novastar products. Evolv will provide service starting in the fall. So before this, you had to send your Novastar processor back to China. Now you can send it to us, and we can do the warranty repair. We will also begin to offer Novastar certified classes starting in the summer, and those will be on the Academy page of our website. Novastar is also a company that's come a heck of a long way. They've always made good products, but they've really been putting a lot of money into research and development, and this is one of the products that really shows how far this company has come. This is releasing at Infocom. This is the Nova Pro UHD Junior. We have one actually set up over here if you want to take a peek after the show. And the Nova Pro UHD is Novastar's all-in-one controller that integrates a 4K image processor, a high-quality 4K image processor, with a LED processor. So those two are together. So it features DVI, HDMI 2.0, and 12 GSDI loopable outputs, and also features 16 Ethernet ports and 4 optical fiber ports. The list price on this box is $8,500. So it's extremely attractively priced. If you own LED, and everybody knows LED is getting bigger and bigger, you're pushing more pixels, this is going to be a great all-in-wonder unit. So that's Novastar. So let's move on to another one that I'm very excited to be announcing today, and that is Disguise. So Disguise is located in London, England. Some interesting facts about London. The Romans were responsible for the city we know as London. It was founded in 43 AD, and it was known as Londinium. Around a fifth of all the world's gold is held under the streets of London, 250 billion sterling pounds worth. The London Underground is the oldest underground railway in the world, and London attracted 20 million international visitors in 2017. They've got a long way to catch up to Orlando, but that's still not too bad. London is also the greenest city in the world, with green spaces covering 40% of Greater London, 67 square miles. So, let's talk about Disguise. Disguise builds the next generation of collaborative tools to help artists and technologists realize their vision. Disguise began creating shows for the likes of Massive Attack and U2, and built and developed their own media server platform because at the time, no others were available. Disguise works with some of the world's most talented visual designers, giving them powerful technologies to conceive, plan, and visualize experiences at the highest level. Bottom line, Disguise designs extremely powerful media servers that are trusted to power the world's most demanding events, just like the ones that you see here. So what's our partnership look like? First of all, Evolv is investing in a wide range of Disguise media servers for our rental inventory. We are also establishing ourselves as a reseller for Disguise media servers. We'll be the only reseller currently in the US outside of the factory, so that's very exciting. And Evolv will begin to offer comprehensive Disguise media server classes starting this summer. And your instructor is right there in front of you, Mr. Kevin Ring, who's currently running the show off of some VX4 servers. Let's take a look at some of their products. This product just came out a few weeks ago. This is the VX4. The VX4 is the most powerful media server in the Disguise lineup. V stands for video. So the VX4 is optimized for playing up to 4 uncompressed 4K at 60 files by utilizing high-performance RAID drives. as well as the capability of playing lossless 10-bit video. Let's take a look at this thing. It's beautiful, I dare say, a little sexy, but this is the front of the VX4. We'll take a look at the media server with the top open. You can see the RAID drives there on your top right. So again, very clean, very streamlined. Let's take a look at the back of this thing. So this is the VX4, which can capture 16 SDI sources or 4 4K sources. The VX4 ships with 4 HDMI VFC cards, which you're going to see right there. VFC stands for Video Format Conversion. So these cards can give you added flexibility when you need it. So I'll show you an example of the VXC card. So these are kind of an output expansion card that gives you increased flexibility. So we've got HDMI 2.0, DisplayPort, Quad SDI, and DVI cards available. Another product that's launching at Infocom is the GX2C, which is an update to the GX2. GX, or G, stands for generative. So that means that the GX2 will render real time for a show that responds to its environment. For example, this can be smoke that moves as it's touched, or water that ripples as performers pass by. Now, if you can imagine, to do this in real time, it takes a lot of processing horsepower. So this product has been revamped. It's got a lot more horsepower underneath the hood to drive the more and more demanding shows that are happening right now. And to give you a little bit more insight on Disguise, I'd like to introduce Hans Bayer, who promised me he can do this in 7 minutes, so please time him. So Hans, take it away. Welcome, Hans. There you go. That's yours.
Hello. Thank you, Tyler. Appreciate that intro. And as you can see, I just hired my new sales guy that delivers an amazing Disguise pitch. So we at Disguise see ourselves as a creative platform that brings shows from beginning to end. So in our timeline over the past 20 years, Tyler did the intro there, Massive Attack, Pet Shop Boys, U2, but also verticals like theater, live event. We really developed a product range and a software that takes care of the biggest and best shows in the world. I joined the company about 5 years ago to kick off D3 Americas, coming out of the UK with the offices there. Then we added APAC as well, and we started launching GX and VX hardware platform after the rebrand in 2017. Disguise is a solution that is all about workflow and collaboration. So the 6 steps that we identify in any process is, starting with a concept, bar napkin, and then start putting it into a Disguise media server, where you use a Disguise designer dongle to start creating your project. Then with end client, you have your process of content validation, you start your show sequencing, and then in the case here, Kevin starts like his load-in with a show already in the can when he puts his machines in line. So thanks for running this off of VX4s, looks amazing. Show rehearsals then become a lot easier because a lot of the legwork has already been done on the front end, and you have more time to prep for showtime, meaning you can bump up your creative. As Tyler already touched on, we identified a GX range as generative content, very much heavy on Notch is the brand out there that drives that real-time creative content. And we are very well known for our VFC cards as well, that on the big boxes gives up to 16 HD outputs out of one box. So that's immensely powerful. You can do projection mapping on the Hoover Dam, for example. So design sequence control. We always talk in 3 pillars there as well, Tyler. So thanks for taking that on. Designer dongles are there to indeed get your show going and prep through the different levels of designer, production company, vendor, and on-site talent. And that is like the better way to deliver that show. So success of our company is really in community. We've always been very diligent about building community from designers, operators, to our partnerships with rental partners. So we're very excited and proud to add Evolve and Tyler and his team to our community and kind of like make bigger waves into the US markets from here on out. People in our community then drag us into the biggest shows. So show examples there are Grammy Awards that we've done 4 years in a running. We found our way into film as well through some of our specialists in that field. So green screen replacement is kind of the key word there. Large canvas projection, but also monitoring LED walls. FIFA World Cup, like this is very exciting new path for us to push our technology into, where you have remote studios and with point of view camera tracking, we can create virtual studios in a real space. Permanent installations like Little Caesars Arena, projection on the ice rings and the spectacle around. MGM Cotai, to date, one of the largest LED projects in a hotel lobby. These are the type of like large-scale products pushing a lot of pixels that our clients kind of like drag us into. So Live Legends was a company from Amsterdam, my hometown, that brought us to Berlin for the PUBG Global Invitational. Very complex projection setup, and with OmniCal, our new camera-based calibration system, they were able to do this load-in, which typically would take like up to 2 days within a 3 to 4 hour window and really be set up overnight and ready. All of you guys in the audience traveling a lot, you probably recognize this as the underground tunnel from the T to the A terminal at Atlanta Hartsfield Airport. Flight paths is real-time generative tracking of flight trafficking, weather, et cetera, all plays back both lighting and video through our Disguise Media platform as well. Kevin, operating this show from Disguise Hardware, can pop into one of the live projects as well. So what we're strong at is build the venue, the set, the stages, put in all the video screens, and then be able to render out different point of view cameras. This fly-through, you kind of render out as an MPEG, share with your clients, you get sign-off. As you can see, you start creating the timeline already as well. So your project is always in the can. You're always ready for output and ready for show with this. It's pixel for pixel. You swap out LED technology, you just update your pixel pitch, and your feed map is set out for output. So this gives you a lot of flexibility on the front end to really get a show going before you show up to site, where things get expensive and you got to pay for labor, the venue. So anything and everything you can do in the front end, really give your client that feel of what their set will look like before they move into it, is a big value proposition. So, last slide there, per the map that Evolve is passing out to you all. Let's take as much of Tyler's money as we can. So stop by, get that sticker, take his $100, and come talk to me, Griff, or any of the tech guys that are in the booth and get a more in-depth demo of what Disguise is about. All right? Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
All right.
All right, appreciate it.
You need that?
Yep. And Hans, thank you for sponsoring our prizes. Really appreciate that. It's very nice of you. $200 now. We just raised it to $200. Anybody got 3? Can I hear 3? All right, so that's Disguised. Now we move on to AJA, who we announced as one of our partners last year at this event. They are located in Northern California, about an hour north of Sacramento, and Grass Valley is located in close proximity to the Tahoe National Forest, the Sierra Mountains, and beautiful Lake Tahoe. So AJA is a great family-run company. It's AJA, not Aja. I just want to point that out. And they build their products at the foothills of the Sierra Mountains. So hopefully that beauty inspires beautiful products. Now they have an exciting new product that they're releasing at InfoComm. That's the KeyPro Go. This is an H.264 recorder. You've got 4 USBs in the back, 4 in the front, 1 in the back, and basically this allows you to give your client a walkaway solution. So imagine you've got your branded USB drives, or maybe your client's got a logo on there, and this is a walkaway solution. Show's over, boom, here's your files, no worry about transferring after the show. And it makes a great stablemate to the KeyPro Ultra. So the KeyPro Ultra can do your 4K recording, archival stuff. You can dump this after the show. KeyPro Go is the walkaway solution. So to give you a little bit more insight on this amazing new product, I'd like to welcome up Bryce Button with AJA, who will give you some more information. Welcome, Bryce. All right, there you go. Oh, and he brought a toy with him. Yes. Can you leave that behind?
Oh yeah. Well, good morning. Welcome. How many of you know AJ? Ah, good. Nice, healthy crowd. So we're 25 years, actually we're into our 26th year now. That went by fast. But basically the pedigree is out of broadcast where we started with converters. We've gone through I/O. We're obviously into the IP transitions that are going on at the moment. At NAB, we introduced a lot of our 8K kit. We've been doing 8K for a little while now with NHK and others. But the recording side has been very interesting for us over the years. And I think the reason that we're having success in the AV business is that we've had to deal with broadcast latency issues, which means there's no patience for failure. And I think you guys are all benefiting from that, alongside all of the great things we've been doing with HDR, which we've just gone through the FA Cup with the BBC on that, and that all went through the FS HDR products. But I just wanted to give you a quick run through what we have here with the KeyPro Go. So as you can see, you've got 4 ports in the front, standard USB ports, and the idea there is that you're going to be able to do multi-channel H.264, 4HD up to 1080p 60, with incredible video audio connectivity. And the key thing here, especially for your AV business, is it's Genlock free. So that means you can mix those DSLRs in with your normal video cameras, et cetera. So we're highly aware, as we've entered the AV market in the last half decade or so, that sources are going to be all over the place. So unlike a lot of professional equipment, you are going to get a big mix. It's standard H.264 files, which is compatible with a wide array of software, of course, essentially in the MP4 format. But what's key here is that you have a choice in terms of picture quality. So you can go 8-bit, you can go lower resolution, cut the color space back if you want to, but you can also ramp it up to 10-bit 422. And you can assign that per channel, which is really, really useful. And there's actually a 5th USB port on the back. So what this is all about is allowing you to stick in and record up to 4 channels at a time, but we want to make sure you have redundancy going on, because I'm sure all of you have run into events where that single channel recording, something's gone wrong with the file. So you can assign as you need to, and your inputs are assignable for your recording based upon 4 SDI inputs and 4 HDMI. So you could have that permanently hooked up if you wanted to, and for any recording scenario, just choose what you want to bring in, any mix of the 4. And you assign that to any channel of recording that you want. And that's really pretty key. You also have pass-through on the monitoring, which is pretty awesome. You can go to a standard HD display, and you can see all 4 of your recording channels at once. So there's SDI and HDMI for monitoring, and you can choose to see a matrix of the 4 channels you're recording, or you can zoom in full screen to a single channel. So if you run 2 monitors together, one HDMI, one SDI, just flip around as you need to. So that is really, really key for successful recording. And it keeps your costs down. Because we all know live event space, here's your problem. How many displays can you actually fit in the space you have to work in, right? So we're just trying to make that as sensible as possible. The whole thing can be driven, like a lot of our products, across our web browser UI. So we literally have built-in web servers on all our key products. So you can access that. If you're completely remote, you simply are hooked in through Ethernet on the back of the device, control it, and assign it as needed. And as I mentioned before, that Genlock-free video input is key. You can bring in audio across your embedded SDI or HDMI signal, or, as in most events, you're going to have a live mixing board going on, and maybe you just need to bring the stereo channel from there. So therefore, you got the analog inputs, and you just assign what you want to each recording channel. So each encoded channel has the option to back it up. And again, this is flexible. You could send all of the backups to a single drive on the back port if you wanted to, or you could be shooting ISOs on the front, but you can also say, I only have 2 cameras I'm concerned about recording. I'll use the 3rd and 4th ports, and I'll throw my backup files there. So the whole point of this is for you to land up with files that are literally recorded as soon as the event's done, get up, walk away. If you need a more professional recording where you're going with very high-quality ProRes files, throw it in a rack alongside a KeyPro Ultra or KeyPro Ultra Plus, and you've got all of that happening at the same time. So conferences, live events, backup recordings, we're really trying to cover a wide range of markets here. And I can tell you, since we announced this at NAB, this has been our most successful product for a launch in our history in 25 years. The hits on the website have just been through the roof every week. So we know this has got great potential, and it's a decent price. You look at that per channel, you're basically under $1,000 per channel. It will be available towards the end of the month. And alongside that, to help you learn more, we have updated our website again, so you can deep dive into it as you need to go, and you can take a look at all those channels for a matrix recording. So once again, thank you very much. I hope you enjoy this show, and you can follow us anytime through the usual social channels. Thank you, Tyler.
Thank you very much. And thank you for the KeyPro Go. Really appreciate that. You can take that with you, unless that's a prize. Who wants to win a KeyPro Go? Nice and small, nice and small. All right, thank you, Bryce. All right, moving on. Analog Way. So Analog Way is basically in Paris, France. They're right on the edge, so we'll round up to Paris. So some facts about Paris. The Eiffel Tower was supposed to be a temporary installation intended to stand 20 years. It was built for the 1889 World Fair. It is believed that Paris only has one stop sign in the entire city. Has anybody driven in Paris? That's probably true. There are at least 3 replicas of the Statue of Liberty in Paris. The most famous of them exists on an island in the middle of the Seine that looks towards her sister, the Statue of Liberty in New York. Now, our partnership today is about to go to a new level, and I'm really excited about where things are going with Analog Way. Jay's going to be up here in a minute, and I'm going to let him kind of go into detail about our partnership. But for now, I want to get to something that's equally as exciting, which is Analog Way's new live premiere platform. So think of Live Premiere as the family of products. Aquilon is the 4K and 8K image processor that lives within that family. And these things are extraordinarily powerful. So let's take a look at the Aquilon. So this is the front of the box, obviously, versus the LiveCore platform. There's a lot less buttons, so it's nice and streamlined. It's beautiful. Just has all you need to really interface with it. USBs for updating, simple menu controls. So this is a lot more of a clean, sleek design. Then we take a look at the back of this product. As you can see, you got a lot of I/O connectivity. All these I/O cards are swappable, and there's a lot of different configurations that you can put together based on your show's needs. It's also really over-engineered. So it includes 3 power supplies. I believe it'll run on 1, correct? 1 power supply. So you have 2 redundancies. And then I'm going to show you something that I've never done before, because normally this isn't very exciting, but in this Analog Way's case, this is the inside of the Aquilon. It is, in my opinion, a work of art. It is beautiful. It is well laid out. It's intuitive. It's really meant to be, really withstand the rigors of the road, and if you do need to service this, it's very easy to field service this. Everything that's in this box was designed by Analog Way. So really, when you look inside of this thing, you can really see that there's been a lot of attention to amazing engineering, and I think it really shows. So that's the inside of the Aquilon. Now let's take a look at the family. So for rental and staging, there's 4 models, the RS1, 2, 3, and 4. And I'll give you some of the specs on these things, which are pretty incredible. So we start with the RS1. Now mind you, when I give you the specs, this is the entry-level box. So 4RU chassis, 16 4K inputs, 8 4K outputs, 2 dedicated 4K multi-viewers, 8 4K or 16 2K layers, 40 megapixels of throughput on program at 10-bit 444. That's the base model. The RS2 will give you, in addition, 12 4K active outputs, 16 4K or 32 2K layers, and this one goes up to 80 million megapixels of throughput. So both of these are really, really powerful. Then it gets even better. Then we go up to the RS3 and the RS4. This is the 5RU chassis, 24 inputs, 12 outputs, again, all 4K, 2 dedicated 4K multi-viewers, 16 4K or 32 2K layers, 80 megapixels. Then we go up to the RS4, 16 4K outputs, 24 4K or 48 2K layers, 120 million pixels of horsepower. Now, what's exciting about that is, shows are really changing. They're starting to look more like this. There's a lot of pixels up here, and this is only a show for 150 people. So you can imagine a lot of you are doing shows with huge LED walls, 4K projection is right around the corner. You're gonna need the horsepower. And what Analog Way is really bringing right now, at a time that it's needed, is products that have really impressive specs and really high pixel throughput. So, with that, I'd like to welcome Jay Gonzalez, who's the president of the US for Analog Way, to give you some details about our relationship. There you go, Jay. Thank you. Here's your clicker. All right, thank you.
Thank you, Tyler. It's good to see many familiar faces and unfamiliar, so welcome that. Thanks for the introduction. The relationship between Evolve and Analog Way is a refreshing one. Evolve and Analog Way share many business philosophies in common. And pointing to the three main elements that I find needed for business success, obviously include products. You gotta have the right products, problem-solving products. But beyond that, you gotta have the right processes. And more importantly, you gotta have the right talent. That makes up a recipe for success. At Analog Way, we believe firmly in this model, and we believe also that Evolve exemplifies this model. So we welcome the opportunity to work with Evolve, work with all of you, and we think this is going to be a mutually fruitful relationship. Now, I'd like to bring in a little bit of background to what the introduction Tyler gave us here. In essence, we believe we have a game changer in the industry, in the area of video processing over hardware. So, to move back, projection technology is still here. It's here to stay for a while. There's innovation every time we turn. However, it's undeniable that direct view LED has become a mega trend. And naturally, there is a push for higher and higher resolution and pitch compaction. And it comes from a demand for ever-increasing size, as well as getting closer to the pixels, as in the case of immersive and interactive technology. The video wall market today is at about $6.4 billion, according to many consultants. Out of that, direct view LED has taken a 41% market share. And if we break that down, within that market share, we find narrow pixel pitch, where the LEDs are in abundance, the pixels are in abundance, has taken 26% of that pie. So naturally, there is a growth in the area, as Tyler mentioned, a hunger for more pixels. We thought that 4K at 12 megapixels was something great. We're continuously deploying screens at multiples of that today, and this will continue. We see no end of that. So that we have to take in consideration. In addition to that, many trends are influencing Pro AV, as you know, HDR being one. Of course, if I ask 20 customers, what's your concept behind HDR? How are you going to use it? And so forth. I get 20 different answers. And that's because HDR is still in flux. According to this Venn chart from September, you can see it hasn't settled yet. In addition to that, we see many things that haven't settled. They're still in flux. Single cable 8K, high frame rate, dynamic high frame rate at that, which brings extreme complexities in processing, 3D stereoscopic, low latency AV over IP, and much more. We had to prepare ourselves for all of these coming trends, and we think we have achieved that with Aqualon, the first in the live premiere series, And in essence, we had to look forward to what this future looks like, our future looks like, and therefore create a sort of open concept design that would allow the evolution of the product so that your investment is secure. We can continue to evolve as, no pun intended, as the industry adopts and settles on many of these standards. So my time is up, but I want to invite you to our booth 1316 to come see Aqualon. We are located behind Panasonic. Just find Panasonic and you'll see Analog Way there. And bring your passport, go to the register at our reception desk, attend a 15-minute presentation and request a stamp. But you'll be very impressed, I guarantee it. Thank you, and we'll see you soon, hopefully.
Thank you, Jay. Appreciate it. Man, we might actually end on time. Everybody's really good hustle, really good hustle. So that means I got pressure on me right now to wrap this thing up. So let's talk about AV Stumpfel. AV Stumpfel is located in a small village, very picturesque village in Wallern, Austria. And coincidentally enough, the most interesting thing about Wallern is it's the home of AV Stumpfel. That was a joke. But it's a very small Austrian town. But Austrian as a country, Vienna is the capital of Austria and home to almost 1/4 of the entire population of the country. 62% of the country is covered by the Austrian Alps. Workers in Austria are well taken care of with 5 paid weeks of vacation per year, in addition to 13 legal holidays. That's why I can never get you guys on the phone. The men in Austria can retire at 65 and women at 60 when they begin to collect old age pensions. Famous Austrians include Arnold Schwarzenegger, Mozart, and Chef Wolfgang Puck. So our relationship really got off the ground last year where we announced that Evolv was going to become the distributor for AV Stumpfel's new lineup of media servers called Pyxera. A few months ago, we announced that in addition, we were going to become a distributor for AV Stumpfel screens. As of today, Evolv is the only distributor for AV Stumpfel screens and AV Stumpfel media servers, except, of course, for AV Stumpfel, who is now headquartered in Atlanta. But outside of the factory, we're the only authorized distributor for their full lineup of products. And this is one of those companies that I've been to 4 times, and it's the only factory that I go to that I don't want to leave, and I'm always trying to get a job there. So I'm thinking about 10 years, 20, 30, I want to work in the factory, putting screens together, and I'm happy to retire at age 65 with full pension. So just put me down for a job in about 10 years, guys. All right, so let's take a look. Well, first of all, AV Stumpfel, we know, makes great screens, and now they make amazing media servers. So let's take a look at the screen side. And normally we don't see a lot of innovation on the screen side, but AV Stumpfel has come out with an amazing new product called the T64 Shift. And if anybody set up a screen in a ballroom that's a relatively large size, you'll see exactly why this is a game-changing product. So let's start by looking at the old way of setting up a screen. And this is a relatively small screen without a dress kit, and it's clunky. The legs sometimes slide out from underneath you. Once you get it up, if your customer comes in the room and says, hey, I want the screen higher or lower, you got to lower it all the way to the ground, take all the wing nuts out, and then raise it back up again. So it's very cumbersome. When it's time to strike it, you got to literally timber the thing over. Now let's take a look at this process with the T64. So gravity is your friend here. So you're going to set it up low to the ground. You're going to raise it up easily. And then from there, you can click of a button. You can raise and lower your screen to any desirable height. When it's time to strike this product, you just lower it back down and gently glide it back to the ground. So everything's safe, everything's nice and easy. And best of all, this product is compatible with all AV Stumpfel Monoblock 64 screen frames, so you don't have to buy a new screen. Now this is very exciting. Pyxera is launching at Infocom, the hardware and the software, and we're very, very excited about Pyxera. So what is Pyxera? Pyxera is a 3D media server that's affordable, powerful, and really easy to use. It comes in 3 products. You have the Pyxera 1, you have the Pyxera 2, and then you have the new Pyxera Mini. So what you get with, I'll give you some of the specs on these products really quickly. Let me click, there we go. So there's the product lineup right there. So Pyxera 1 RU chassis, capable of uncompressed 4K, configurable to 2 or 4 outputs. Pyxera 2 RU chassis, capable of uncompressed 4K, and configurable to 2, 4, or 8 outputs. 2 is probably more your rental and staging workhorse. The Mini is perfect for digital signage and multi-display applications, configurable to 2 or 4 outputs. Best of all 3 models run the full version of Pixera and can run third-party software like Notch and Vioso. Now these are just specs, and sometimes people glaze over a little bit when you start talking about media servers because people are like, well, they're expensive and they're complicated to use. I don't really understand them. How do I use them for my show? And the bottom line is, if you're a modern rental and staging company, you better get into media servers because shows look like this now on their basic form. Again, for 150 people. There's a lot of you in here that do shows for 2,000, 3,000, 5,000 people that are pushing lots of pixels. And if you want to wow the audience, you have to have a media server involved. So I want to show you the best part about the Pixera platform, which is it's extremely powerful, but it's extremely easy to use, and you can get it up and running in a matter of minutes. So if you want to time Kevin, he's going to actually build the show that we're doing right now in real time and show you just how easy Pixera is to operate. Kevin, take it away.
Thank you, Tyler. Good morning, everyone. So I'm going to do something that we recommend you don't do in public. I'm going to go to the complete blank screen, and I'm going to build the show for you right now. Normally for these demos, I like to cheat a little bit and pre-plan some things and pre-build, but this is literally a brand new show. So I've launched the Pixera platform. I'm using a Pixera 2 Octo, and instantly I can go into the 3D realm. If you've used the old Vioso RX, this is a great new addition. What I love about it, though, is Stumful has put the database of all their screens already in the software for you. Deco frames, full white, monoblock, 64, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. If you buy Stumful, I guarantee the screen is there. If not, there's generics as well. We have LED because that is the world that we're in nowadays. I'm using the Epson Altair 3.75. Unfortunately, it's such new LED that it doesn't exist in the database yet. The good news, though, is the same exact size as the ROE CB3. Just don't tell anyone that I'm doing this. So I can instantly put in the exact size of the panels that I'm putting, 16 by 4, and it tells me that my resolution is 2560 by 1280. By applying this to an actual output, it has now changed the EDID and the output resolution to match what I need for this show. Pretty cool. I can now put my other wall in as well, which is 16 by 4, which is a big wall, by the way. It took the guys all day to build. Then I'm going to put my little banner LED in, which will be a 10 by 1. And now I'm going to put everything into position. By holding the Shift key, everything snaps in. And as I said, I'm in the 3D environment, so I'm going to use my Z-axis. Let's rotate. Let's rotate. That looks nice. And now, can't forget the projection screen, of course. So the great thing about this, too, is while it's very simple to operate, it's still incredibly powerful. If you've used other media servers, no need to name other names, most of the features you're looking for, I guarantee you'll find in here. All right, that looks cool. Oh, and the one important thing as well is I cannot forget Boss Man's downstage monitor. Gotta have that. And I can even push this into the Z-axis, and I can even turn it around so Tyler can see it perfectly. Lovely. So now I'm going to go to the mapping page. Here's where I actually allocate physical outputs and projectors. The one thing I did pre-cheat is I found my projector, the Panasonic RQ22, and I put that in my favorites list. With a quick command, it fills the screen entirely. If I were doing edge blending, it would do the data doubling for me and calculate the overlap region. It's incredibly simple. If I need to, I could then jump into this projector as well, turn on a test pattern, put in a 3x3 grid, and just completely warp the heck out of it. I can do this on every single projector, every display. Awesome. And I will turn my test pattern off. Now the really fun part is the compositing. If you've done other media servers, you know you usually have to make playheads and cues, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. What I love about Pixera is it literally is drag and drop. If I want this content on the screen, I drop it and there it goes. If I want to put other content on other screens, I can do fun, scenic elements. That's pretty. If I want to make something feel better, I can dive into that screen, I can extend it, and that looks wonderful. I can set up pips, I can set up layers, I can set up rotations, I can set up keyframes, all the good stuff. Let's see, and one last little screen down here. I'll dive in. This would be a really fun show if someone would let me actually set this one up. If if anyone wants to do a disco or a rave, we can have some fun. Cool. And that's how easy it is to program with Pixera. If you want more information, we are offering Pixera certified classes in Orlando and Las Vegas. I have a class the end of June. I have 4 seats left. I hope to see you there. Patrick Finley from AV Stumple USA teaches the classes in Atlanta. We will have more class offerings starting this summer. I'll put that on the schedule when I get less busy, when I finish running Tyler's presentation for him.
Thank you, Kevin.
And that's
Thank
it for me.
you. Round of applause for Kevin for doing that in real time while he's running the show. So I just want to demonstrate how easy Pixera is. Take a deep breath. It is a media server, but it's not so bad. It's really easy to use. So we love Pixera, and we can't wait to get this stuff out in the marketplace. So that's AV Stumple. All right, really quickly, let's talk, before I talk about Absent, let's talk about Evolve LED. So Evolve LED was purpose-built to streamline and improve the LED ownership experience. How did we do it? First, we start with high-quality products. Absent makes very high-quality products. These 3.75 mil tiles that you're seeing here came directly from the box, brand new. Everything set up, worked perfectly. That's the kind of products that Absent makes. They're engineered right the first time. So we start with great products, then we start adding the value add. So we buy large batches in distribution, then we divvy it up between our rental inventory and our customers. So we have a shared batch of products. We add value-add services like service. Starting in June, we have begun to service our customers' Absent LED tiles. So if you buy Absent through us, we can service it out of our Las Vegas office. We can do most of the repair work for you. We do training, so we can train your staff on both Absent products and now Novastar. We do product acceptance in Dallas, so if you buy LED, you can have the option to fly to Dallas, work with one of our solutionists who will help set up your product, go through an onboarding process, you see it, you're happy with it, you sign, we load it on the truck, it goes to your facility, you start making money with it. And then of course you get the support after the sale, so you have access to the Evolve Solutions team should you need consultations based on shows that you're planning, or should anything get tricky on show site and you need some customer support, we're there for you 24 hours a day. So let's talk about Absent products. First of all, Absent is located in Shenzhen, China. Shenzhen is the largest manufacturing hub in China's richest city. It has the highest per capita in China, 50% higher than Beijing and Shanghai. And Shenzhen used to be a small fishing village with a tranquil beach, but in the last few years has transformed into a major city with a population of over 10 million people. So let's talk about some Absent products. First of all, one that's brand new and very exciting is the Absent Aries series. It comes in a 1.5 and a 1.2 millimeter product. We'll be focusing on the 1.5 mil. This is a shaderless design, so no shaders, and it features a new integrated matrix device, which is 4 LEDs in one. So it's more rugged and it's easier to repair because you don't have all these tiny LEDs. If they were tiny LEDs, you'd have 82,944 points of failure on this tile. The cabinet design is 610 by 343 millimeter, which is perfect 16 by 9. 25 tiles gives you full HD. 100 tiles gives you native 4K. You can see this at the Absent booth. It is absolutely stunning. Then we move on to the brand new Altair series. We brought in the 3.75 mil product into distribution in large quantities. You're looking at it right now. So you don't have to do 2.5 mil in a ballroom. This is a small ballroom. We're doing 3.75, and it looks unbelievable. These tiles are 600 by 1200 millimeter. There's also 600 by 600 millimeter tiles, and you can get a show like this up and running a lot quicker. To give you an idea of these tiles here, they're only 4 tiles tall. So you're dealing with a lot less componentry, a lot less weight. It's just a lot easier across the board. Then our other product that we feature is the Polaris 2.5. This is a 2.5 millimeter, 500 by 500 high pixel density product. It's very rugged, very reliable. It looks amazing. Again, all 3 of these products will be at the Absent booth. This is our product lineup. We have a quantity of all but Aries, because we're waiting for our governments to hopefully come to a peace treaty here with the tariffs that are going on. So we'll bring you Aries as soon as we can, but the other 4 we have in large quantity, or 3 large quantity in distribution, most of which have 0 tariffs. So if you're looking at buying LED, we have a lot of LED available that's brand new in the box, tariff free, for now. So that's Epson. Let's talk about Panasonic. So Panasonic is located in Osaka, Japan. Osaka is the third largest city in Japan with over 2.5 million people. Osaka was once the capital of Japan. In Japan, vending machines are everywhere. It's estimated that there's 5.5 million vending machines, which eat 3% of Japan's total electricity output. 24 billion pairs of chopsticks are used in Japan each year. The highest point in Japan is Mount Fuji at 12,388 feet. So we announced our partnership with Panasonic 3 years ago, and we've really invested deeply into their projectors. At 3 years ago, we began selling their projectors. We've sold, to this date, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of them. They've been a home run for us and our customers. And I said something 3 years ago that I can say now, hand to God. In 3 years, of the hundreds of projectors that we own and the countless amount of projectors that we've sold, there's never been a failure on show site. We've never had one fail with one of our customers on their shows. And our customers have never sent a projector in for anything other than basic service. So bottom line, these things are built like little tanks, and they run and they run and they run. They're extremely reliable projectors. And they're always coming out with new stuff. So starting with the VMZ series, they really gave the industry what they're looking for, which is a compact HD laser projector with 3-chip LCD image quality and a short throw lens. This one has a 1.09 to 1.77 lens and is only 15 pounds. It comes in VMZ 50, 40, 50, and 60. So that's 4,500 lumens, 5,000 lumens, and 6,000 lumens. Then we move on to the single chip projectors. This kind of gets into more of the professional lineup. And this is kind of a list of the projectors that we focus on from 7,000 lumens to 12,000 lumens. Panasonic is adding the brand new PT RQ100, which I believe is going to be at the booth, I believe, will be shown there. This is a 4K 10,000 lumen laser projector that has some of the best single chip image quality that I've ever seen. Yes, Dan? RCQ110, that just rolls off the tongue. Let's just call it the 4K, 10K single chip projector or something. Okay, well, we'll talk about the model number later. For now, the RQ100, 10,000 lumen 4K laser, beautiful, beautiful image quality. Then we move up to the big 3-chip projectors, the 12K, the 20K, and the RQ22s, which you're looking at on the screen now. You can see them in the back of the room. These were announced at InfoComm last year, but they didn't really ship until the end of last year, so I wanted to kind of highlight those really quickly, because really going into 2020, you're going to see a lot more 4K projectors from manufacturers. More and more people are going to be buying 4K projectors, so if you're looking to future-proof yourself, spend a few extra dollars, the RQ22 might be an option for you to take a look at. Again, it's a compact 20,000 lumen 4K laser. Then we move up to the big guys, the RZ31 and the RQ32. These are the 30,000 lumen projectors. Panasonic is dropping, I call it the King Kong of projectors at InfoComm this year. Dan, let me know if I'm saying the model number right. The PT RQ50. This is a 50,000 lumen native 4K projector with red and blue laser. So it has enhanced color accuracy. It's compact for its class. It's a little bit bigger than an RZ31. No chiller, and it's really designed to save you time and money. So imagine if you're doing a projection mapping job and you've got 30 projectors, this will cut that in half. So that's going to save time and money and effort on the setup. A ballroom show, let's say you're doing a 20 by 60, now you can do this with one projector instead of 4 projectors. You've got the brightness, the resolution, and the reliability. So Panasonic is always innovating, always adding new projectors, and their product lineup keeps getting better and better. So I implore you to go to their booth and kind of get a little bit more hands-on experience with all of the Panasonic projector lineup. So that's Panasonic, and we're getting to the home stretch. So let's talk about Barco. Last but certainly not least, our friends at Barco. And in Barco, they love beer. So there are 800 kinds of beers made in Belgium. Belgians consume 150 liters of beer per person per year. Belgium also produces 220,000 tons of chocolate per year. That amounts to 50 pounds of chocolate per inhabitant annually. Does anybody know what Barco stands for? You work for Barco. It doesn't count. All right. Barco American Radio Corporation, right? So started way back in 1934. They made televisions, radios, and even jukeboxes. And in the 60s, started transitioning more into professional products where they are today. I have a little bit of a nostalgic relationship with them because the first projector I ever used was a projector in 1998 called the 9200 light cannon. Does anybody remember the 9200 light cannon? Don't know if there's any of them out there anymore, but it was an amazing projector, and my back still hurts from hoofing that thing upstairs all the time. And the first product that we ever invested in at Evolv is the Screen Pro 2. So our relationship with Barco is progressing. So I'm pleased to announce that Evolv is going to become an official stocking distributor for Barco image processing and select projection products. So we'll be adding that to our shelves. We will also begin to do what no company has done before outside of Barco is towards the end of the year, we'll be offering non-warranty and warranty repair on Barco image processing and select projector products. So if you buy Barco products from us, your E2 is sick, it doesn't happen very often, but if you need to send it in, we will be prepared to repair it, get you a loaner product if necessary, and you can go about your business making money, and we'll fix your product for you. So we're very excited about that, and we're going to invest in the products that you're about to see. Barco's releasing some really interesting projectors. Number one, the F80 Q12. 12,000 lumen, single chip projector, unbelievable image quality. I've seen it next to a 3-chip UDX. It looks phenomenal. Now, the one that I'm really excited to be premiering for you, this is a world premiere, and this is the UDM 4K22. What do you think? Beautiful? It's a beautiful projector. So this is based on the lineage of the UDX, which is a highly successful product for Barco. This is a 22,000 lumen 4K projector, laser of course, and this is really the predecessor to the most widely adopted, reliable, and trusted rental and staging projector of all time, and that's the HDX. So this is really the true predecessor to the HDX. And I'd like to introduce Alexis Skachkov, who's going to come up and briefly give you some information on this new projector. Alexis is the product manager. He is the godfather of a lot of the projectors that we all know and love, and he's going to give you some updates on his new baby, the UDM. So welcome, Alexis. Good to see you. Here's your clicker. There you go.
Thank you, Tyler. A great moment for us, UDM replacing the HDX. It's a little bit emotional, but still, we are very happy with the result. For those of you who have been at ISE, we have been showing the UDM as a preview in our suite, where everybody was welcome. But today, we will do it official on our booth. The UDM will be there visible on a very interesting setup, and I'm happy to emphasize the words of Tyler. We combine the UDM together with F80 and UDXs, and this is a mix of single chip and 3-chip, and the result is really stunning. It proves that the UDM has the colors of the UDX, and it also proves that the F80 is capable of being set next to 3DLP projectors. But let's have a look of what our new portfolio looks like if we add the UDM in there. We added a new product also, the G60, which is on our booth, which is for daily use single chip projection up to 10,000 lumen. The F80 is there for the Pro AV in the rental market. We see now with the 12,000 lumen, the adoption towards the rental market is really, really good. So we are looking forward to that. And this goes all the way up to 12,000 lumen. We have at the very top end, very high brightness projection, RGB laser, exists in different brightnesses and different configurations. If you take the most bright version, which is the 75,000 lumen projector, that is a 3P, so that means you cannot do 3D color separation with it. But if you take the 60K, for example, this has a 6P color separation. So that means you can use one single projector and still use, for example, the Enfitec passive glasses. So it makes it very easy for managing a large audience that needs to look at 3D images. Then we have the UDX. I hope most of you have used that projector already and seen how the great quality of that unit is. We extend that unit all the way up to 40K, which is on our booth. But that means that also we still need to fill a gap at the 20K, and which we will do with the new UDM. Later well, beginning of next year, we will also add a lower brightness version of that, which will be around 15,000 lumen. What is important for the UDM is that it is replacing kind of the HGX, but also it's the little brother of the UDX. So we are looking there for that product to have the same features, same color reproduction, same rugged chassis, reusing the same lenses. So if you need a smaller size projector and you're looking for the UDX image quality, this is really your unit. It also features the pulse electronics, and this is also the same for F80 projectors, where we have the lowest latency on the market. And I know for live events, you're always looking for the lowest latency to not have backdrop screens which are having a lot of delay. And together with the processing, I think we are also very proud there to say we have very low latency and building a system which is really, really fast in processing. We are also adding a new card, which is a fiber optic card. So your optical comm duo or quad goes straight into the projector also. The platform will be smart connected. What does that mean? That we will be ready to connect to the cloud with the projector. So at any time, you can check from your mobile phone, from your laptop, what the current situation, health situation is of the projector, where it is located, and so on. And also the peripherals, we see that this is very important for a lot of customers. They like to buy a very good, solid projector, which has fantastic image quality, but having additional peripherals, which makes life more easy, is also a great thing to have. So we have external boxes, which we're partnering with some third-party companies. There is a single clamp hook. I don't know if it's so very popular in the US, but in Europe, it is really popular. There is a new version of that also with 2 clamps, which you can see on our booth. Flight case, motorized frame. This is also new. You can see it on our booth. So that means if the projector is in a frame, you don't have to go to the projector itself and adjust it. You can do it remotely from the remote control of the projector or through web tools. The fiber card, as I already mentioned, which also goes into the UDX and the UDM and the XLD RGB laser projector. We have external shutter. We have a remote cooler, which means you can put the projector in a very small box and take the heat out through liquid. Makes it really easy if you want a very silent projector and a noise cancelling box. A camera, laser distance meter, we have the rigging frame, and we're also working with 3 partners for the auto alignment, which is Dome Projection, Scalable, and Vioso. They are fully integrated with our software, so they just work directly on our warp interface, which is also reducing the processing delay. Good, so I hope you can step by our booth, and if you want to take the $100, this will for sure be the case. Yeah, take the $100, and I'm happy to answer your questions there.
Thank you, Alexis. You can give that to your colleague over there. So we're almost done, home stretch. So let's talk about Barco image processing. Obviously, Barco has set the standard for image processing for almost 2 decades now. And they're who most of us rely on day in and day out. And what Barco does really, really well is they make products that last a long time. So the E2 is on its 5th year, believe it or not, and it shows no sign of slowing down because they keep figuring out how to get more and more out of it. So to talk a little bit about what's coming down the line for the E2, I'd like to bring on Andreas, who will quickly go through that, and then we'll wrap things up. So welcome, Andreas.
All right, so I'm Andreas Geropastas. I'm the R&D director for Barco Image Processing. Had I known how much Tyler Nice likes trivia, I would have brought some for you. Of course, Barco, I'll make up something quickly. Barco is our parent company, of course, in Kortrijk, Belgium. And Barco acquired Folsom Research in January 2004. And it's been a great relationship, and it evolved no pun intended, to these great products that we continue to bring to you. We are located in Sacramento, California. Did you know it's the capital of California? Strategically located very close to Napa Valley, San Francisco, the mountains, about 35 miles from AJA's hometown of Grass Valley. Okay, enough of trivia. So, what's new for EventMaster E2, S3, and the other products? Alexis alluded to this, a new fiber card to drive our projectors directly. This is standard SMPTE fiber. All standards that you see there supported anywhere from ST, if anybody is still using that, all the way up to 12G is standard fiber, LC connectors, single mode, using the same receiver and transmitter modules. We also sell them, but it's BYOT, bring your own transceiver, because most likely you own it already. But if you like to buy it from us, we also carry it. So this will facilitate a direct connection from your E2 or your S3 into our great line of UDX and the upcoming UDM projectors and all the Pulse Electronics series, and eliminate multiple points of failures. So that's the fiber output card. So, as you know, we have our EX processor, a great way to create distributed systems to send signals backstage, but we get a question. We are linking your processors, and then with these great pixel spaces increasing, that's happening more and more these days. How do we bring the EX in the picture? The answer is the card that you see over there, the CXP-IO card. And this is an input or output card. If you plug it in an output slot, you can drive LED processors, projectors, downstage monitors. If you plug it in an input slot, you can send sources backstage, like you see in these pictures here. So this card is available for you to offer more solutions with the EX. And that's not all. We now have all the second generation cards, the tri-combos, the quad cards, all new standards, 12G SDI, HDMI 2, DisplayPort 1.2. So the card that you see over there exists and ships today as an output card. What's new about it, this will become the second generation multi-viewer card, bringing you one 4K multi-viewer or 4 HD outputs. We've been getting the question for a while, the last 5 years, can you enable more outputs? Can you give us 4K? Now we can, that we have the card with the right capacity and horsepower to do it with. We support HDCP 2.2 for those of you that use it. We will have internal cross-point feeds for all the multi-viewer outputs, so you no longer need to loop them back and bring them back as inputs and burn your inputs. And also, we have the program-only mode, which doubles the canvas in any box. We will allow you to multi-view that now on the multi-viewer and hopefully increase your confidence in using it more and more. The E2 is a very reliable box, so if you need to go bigger, you can do that. And of course, as we always do, we offer backwards compatibility. So all the systems that you've been using for the last 5 years now can be upgraded to this new capability with the release 7.0 software coming soon. And that's not all. For those of you that pay attention, you probably noticed the black front of this E2 that I'm showing over here. So what's the E2 Black Edition, the second generation? We have all the second generation cards. The world is moving more and more to 4K. It's time to offer a product with all the 4K 60 standards. So we have done that, and for the second generation E2, all input slots now support 2 4K 60 on all slots. So that would give you 16 4K inputs. We added larger power supplies to be able to handle the load of a fully loaded system with second-generation cards with confidence. These supplies, you can run the system on a single supply. Of course, our first generation E2 will also operate, but we're getting a little bit into the margin of the supply. And if you try that, which I don't believe you're running your shows on a single supply, but things happen, a supply can fail, we will warn the operator and ask them to replace the supply. We have run a lot of testing. We're not going to take your shows down. We're not known for that. But of course, we don't recommend it. And this solves the problem once and for all. Of course, the multi-viewer, we already talked about it, is going to be available on the second generation E2, and all specs, all the rest of the specs remain the same. All right, the exact configuration is going to come equipped with 2 quad HDMI 2 input cards, 2 DisplayPort 1.2 input cards, of course, the 4 tri-combo cards. On the output side, 2 quad HDMI 2 output cards, 1 tri-combo, and of course, the HDMI 2 operating as a multi-viewer. And of course, our multi-viewer, you can use it for multi-view, or you can turn it into an output slot. For Pro AV applications, if you need more outputs, you can do that. So, all this sounds great. I'm sure your next question is, when is it available? So, the fiber output card is available essentially now. In July, it starts shipping, and it goes along with our release 6.5. And of course, on our projection side, they happen for 2-3 months now, shipping the corresponding input card. The 4K multi-viewer card is also available now. You can purchase it as an output card. As of September, with release 7.0, we'll enable the new second-generation multi-viewer capabilities. The CXP card also goes along with release 7, so that's also coming in September. And of course, the second-generation E2 is also going to be part of release 7 in September. So the EventMaster family continues to evolve, again, no pun intended, but for the last 5 years, based on the modularity, the scalability, we deliver on the promise of being future-proof, and you're the own judges of your investments, but we believe we have the best return on investment, the best scalability to do anything from your very small shows to the very large shows. So, and that's not all. There is a lot of features in 6.5 and 7.0 that I didn't talk about, HDR, wide color gamut, all those buzzwords that you hear. So please visit us at our booth. And very conveniently located, very close to our booth, is our suite, where we're showing some of the latest goodies that I talked about here. So please come see us. Thank you. Thank you, Tyler.
Thank you. All right. Thank you. So that's a 5-year-old product that keeps getting better and better and better, and it shows no sign of slowing down. So 10-year E2, 10-year product? What do you think? So very exciting stuff. So we are now at the home stretch. I am the only one between you and the doors of Infocom. So I'm going to get through this really quickly. So wrapping up, these are our 8 manufacturer partners. We could not be prouder to have these on our roster. And they all have something in common. That is, they produce high-quality, well-respected products. They're all located in interesting places. They all share common core values and have great company culture. And as you saw today, they keep innovating. So, with that, I'd like to say thank you. I'd like to say thank you to all of you for coming by this morning and spending the last... Oh, I'm sorry. Let's go back. I got ahead of myself. Oh, I'm sorry. I almost spoiled the surprise. This is why we rehearse, right, Kevin? All right, really quick, we have a segment from our specs therapist. We go to Tim when we need advice on specs. So we're going to bring Tim up for a little segment really quickly that we call Let's Talk About Specs. Come on, Tim.
Let's talk about specs. Let's talk about RGB. Let's Good morning. So I'm officially the last thing between you and the conference. The average technician thinks about specs about 10 times a day. You're about to spend 2 days learning about specs, and you've just spent the morning with a spectual education. So what I'd like to talk about is some of the things you need to be thinking about. Equipment has specs, so do cables. We have to start thinking about transferring all of our cable inventories to something that is capable with 4K. So if you have HDMI cables in your inventory, how do you know they're HDMI 2.0 capable? Have you tested them? Have you put them on sources? Again, if you're exploring specs, you want to have the right toys. You want to make sure that you got sources that generate what you're expecting to see on your displays. If you're looking for RGB 444, you can't use a monitor that expects 420, right? The other thing, specs can be lied about. So the one thing about that is a couple years ago, I was looking at a drive, recording drive, and the specs online said it had a 3G SDI input, but the format list it supported did not have 1080p on it. So I called the manufacturer and I said, hey, you have a 3G SDI input, but you don't support 1080p. And they go, yeah, the connector is rated for 3G, but we don't actually support the format as a recording format. And when will you? And they go, never. So you have to be careful about that kind of stuff. The other thing is, you can't talk about specs without talking about S&M, which is signal management. So signal management in our industry is probably going to be fiber in the live events world. All of our manufacturers you've seen this morning all have fiber solutions as outputs, fiber solutions for transmission. 12G's out there is a copper solution, but it's copper. It doesn't go very far when you're pushing that much data through it. The other thing that we have to consider too is video over IP. It may be a viable, low-cost solution for a lot of people. I'm sure we all want to see a video Ethernet solution like Dante is an audio solution. So we'll see how that plays out. But like I said, for what I've seen so far and what I've seen in the industry, I think fiber is still going to be the way that most of us work. Okay? So just to reiterate, we have a great team of solutionists. They're all a bunch of specs addicts. We got Kevin, we got Eli in the back, we got George, who does all of our LED stuff. Myself, we're all here as a resource for you, and we will definitely separate the spectral fantasy from the spectral reality. So with that, I'll let Tyler close the show and have a great InfoComm.
Thank you, Tim. Don't touch me. Don't touch me. Don't touch me. Hopefully it wasn't too early to talk about specs, but we just had to get that out of our system. So thank you, Tim, for that segment. Hopefully that song gets stuck in all of your heads. So with that, I want to say thank you. First of all, I want to say thank you to all of you for getting up early and having breakfast with us. I apologize for that we went a little long this morning, but I hope you got some really good information. Obviously, there were a lot of interesting products that are coming out of InfoComm, and we really look forward to bringing you those new products first. I'd also like to thank the staff at Evolv that's been working for months to put this show together. And I want to give a special thanks to our marketing department head, Rich Johnson. Rich basically put together the entire show that you're seeing here right now. So I'd like to give Rich a round of applause because he's been working tirelessly on this thing. Bob Husky for project managing this, Myra Main and Melody Bishop for helping to organize the event, and then of course for Kevin for being my co-pilot today and for being in the hot seat. It's not easy having 400 eyeballs looking at the back of you. So with that, I'd like to wish you a great InfoComm, and we'll see you across the street. Have a great show, everybody. Thank you. Bye-bye.
So don't you dare